That the Prime Minister can be remembered for 5 years,
Yeah.
but the teacher is remembered for lifelong.
Yes.
Life is a game of ups and downs. He gets the best who never frowns. He who takes the seesaw with a smile will find the passing days worthwhile. Your expectation. I think we are living in a very show-off culture. We are not touching reality at all. उसके नसीब में नहीं
वो तो
था.
बाद में बोल देते हैं.
But one thing, if you ask me, in my life, I don't regret till today. Tradition does not mean that अगर सती सिस्टम था तो उसको आप फॉलो करो. नहीं, आपको वहाँ चेंज की जरूरत है तो आप चेंज करिए.
सती क्या आपको धर्म तो फॉलो करना है, लेकिन उसमें से क्या क्या निकाल देना है ये कैसे पता चलेगा? ये तो बड़ा डिफिकल्ट काम है.
My child studies in ABC school.
Yeah.
No, AB school. अरे 6 लाख फी है. पेरेंट्स बहुत अमीर है. तो हमने जो पूरा एजुकेशन सिस्टम है उसको अपने स्टेटस सिंबल बना दिया है, मंदिर नहीं.
So what are the changes that you like and what are the changes that you are worried about?
We have to change with times. Today, I cannot be living and saying that, look, I don't know how to use technology. After doing your best, for some reason you don't succeed, learn to say never mind. This never mind is the core value of life. And once he told me, nobody dies of more work. People die of no work.
The best job you can do, which no one else can compete in, is you being yourself.
I said, "Kuthe kele, what did you do with it?" He said, "I gave it to my friends because I learnt in the school, sharing is caring."
This makes me remember Jiddu Krishnamurthy's teaching. So in their schools, they do not have the competitions at all. So they do not compare.
Education institutions are temples of learning.
Yeah.
हमने उनको temples of learning से निकाल कर एक business बना दिया है.
Good morning, ma'am. Welcome to Mingle podcast.
Thank you so much.
How
Good
are you
morning.
feeling today? All good?
I'm good, very good.
Yeah, so I'm excited to have this conversation today with you. I recently watched your TED Talk. Thanks goes to Priya. She recommended me and then I watched the TED Talk. That was like very inspiring. Your story like really touched me. So I would want you to start from the beginning. You come from a very humble background,
Yes.
right? You faced financial struggles in the beginning. What inspired you at that moment to choose this career and how it all started?
I came from a refugee family. My parents came from Pakistan, leaving everything. And I had 3 brothers and I was the only daughter. And you know that at that time, girls were not really welcomed beyond a point. But my father was different. He kept all his 3 sons aside and said, "My daughter." I mean, I think that was one great source of inspiration, that he really valued me beyond a point. I think he had a lot of, I was young, very small, but his one dream was that my daughter should speak English. He had a cousin who had studied in London, and she used to be his role model. Like, he used to say, "I have a daughter, she must speak English like her."
Yeah.
So I think that one focus that I should speak English when both my parents didn't know a word. And I think, of course, I'm very proud of them, but other than signing his name, and my mother, who came from Nagpur, studied in a Marathi medium school, but both had a dream that I should study in a convent school. So I think my mother went to the school, filled the form, and she didn't know how to fill it. So she asked one Maharashtrian lady who had come for her daughter's admission to fill my form.
Okay.
Now, you know, my name is Manju Nichani, but in Marathi they write Manjula,
Okay.
right? So that lady wrote Manjula Nichani. And I remember when I went to the class for the first day, the teacher said Manjula, and I promise you I didn't know it was my name, so I didn't respond. Then after calling 2 times, she counted the students and found that all the students were there, and yet Manjula was not answering. So she said, "Manjula Nichani." Then I just woke up and said, "Present, miss."
Nichani to yahan hai, hum
Yes.
hai.
So she said, "You don't know your name is Manjula." I didn't respond because I was just too young. I went home and, of course, told my mother that when did I become Manjula? And her simple answer was that auntie who filled your form must have written Manjula.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there was so much of simplicity with which we grew. And my father, I think what really inspired me was that when I was in standard third, and we do that chapter on Ramayana. Dashrath was the king of Ayodhya. He had 4 sons. So when I used to learn my homework and say loudly, my father thought this was the ultimate English in the world. So he used to call his friends and tell me, Manju, just tell them. And I used to very boldly stand and say that Ramayana, that Dashrath was the king
How
of
sweet.
Ayodhya. Today, when I look back, I think that gave me the confidence to speak on any platform. A time when women were kept behind. He got me on the forefront. I don't think he realized that was his intention. But today you do counseling, you do understanding, you did pampering. I don't think he was focused on all that. But I think it was his dream and his pride that I speak in front of everybody. So today, even if you tell me to speak in front of the president, I do it without hesitation. And it's thanks to him. Because if you come from a humble background, there are a lot of shortcomings, like you don't get exposure, you don't really. But here was a man, he used to take me to the bank, I was very, very tiny. And he used to take me to the bank to deposit, and I used to go and say, I want new notes. Those 1 rupee notes. That time, they were big notes. I mean, they were very precious to give all the expenditure. So he used to bring 1 rupee. So I always say, Uncle, new notes. So the whole bank used to call me new notes. Now, that was another kind of exposure of going out, meeting bank people. I didn't know who they were and what difference they made. But I think I went with the flow. And rather than having a complex that I cannot do it, it came to a feeling that I can do it. And this feeling that I can do it, I think made me very enthusiastic, and I tried to put in my best. I'll tell you a funny incident.
Yeah.
Earlier, the house doors used to be open. I mean, we didn't have... So there was this one very man with a tika and came there and passed, and he looked... I was about 5 years, 6 years.
Okay.
And my parents were sitting, and he said, ये बेटी आपकी एक दिन कुछ बहुत बड़ी आदमी बनेगी.
Wow.
और उसका फोटो हर पेपर में आएगा. My father looked and said, बात तो बहुत अच्छी है, लेकिन ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? Like, they didn't think, because the ultimate goal of theirs was that I should pass my SSC and they should find a nice boy and I should get married. I mean, that was the purpose of a lower middle class Sindhi.
Absolutely, yes.
But things held something very, very different for me. So that was the beginning, and I take every platform to thank my parents. My mother never interfered. I think if you somebody told her that my daughter is doing BA in English, I was doing BA with economics. Now, she didn't know the difference. She says, even my daughter is doing it in English. I mean, I'm just telling you with the simplicity.
Yes, I get it.
We came up with. I mean, nobody was interested other than I passed the class.
Correct.
So there was no force, no pressure, no competition, no comparison. I think today you're living in the world where you think you're putting in a lot of confidence in their children, but what you're doing is actually demotivating
Comparing
them
all the time.
by comparing them all the time. You're comparing them with whom? Like, I remember an incident. This friend of mine, she's MA with psychology. Her husband is from IIM Ahmedabad. And her son, they got down from the school bus. He must be in junior KG. And she asked him, how much did you get in your dictation? He says 9.5 out of 10. She really picked him, hugged him, and even went to buy a chocolate for him. But then suddenly she asked him, how much did Kushal get? And he said 10 out of 10. She just put him down and said,
the whole day.
Oh, well, yes, how? I
दिन ही
mean,
खराब हो गया information
कैसे हुआ?
सुन के.
No, it was THERE and THEIR. There was 50, 60 students in a class. The child may not have heard it. But what you did you realize that you let him lose his 9.5?
Yes.
This is what I think is the problem with today's people.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, so one thing I picked up from what you said is English language, and English language in India is not just a language, right? It is much, much more
It's a
than that.
status symbol.
Yeah, it's a status symbol. And I also remember you must be knowing about that school in Ladakh, Sekmol,
Yes.
by Sonam Wangchuk. So they also did this just one thing. So they used to take only failure students who fail in 10th class, like only failed students, like they're failing for like 3 years constantly, and they take those students and teach them English and give them confidence to speak. Once they have the confidence, everything else is sorted. And this is exactly what you said. You built confidence in the beginning of your life, and everything else was connected.
I think confidence is one thing which sails you through many, many things. I think you may be very bright, but if you're not confident, for example, if you go for an interview, the first thing that you see in a person is the confidence level.
Yeah.
Because all companies and so you may be knowledgeable. Knowledge is very, very important.
But if you're not able to transfer that
But
knowledge,
if you cannot transfer that knowledge
With
and you cannot
confidence.
display it, I mean, today you're living in the world where if you have it, show it. Flaunt it.
yes, absolutely.
I mean,
And then second point you said about the comparison, and that is the killer of the confidence.
absolutely. I tell all the parents that if you want to compare them to themselves.
Yes.
Like I have twin grandnieces, twins. Now both are totally different.
Yes.
And you'd be surprised that they are so different that one is very, very good in drawing and one is good in maths. One doesn't get scared to get into the waters, and the other one just fears getting into the water.
And they are twins.
And born at the same time, grown up in the same
Twins, oh my
environment.
God, huh.
So nature and nurture are same.
Yes.
But there are some innate qualities. So the mother, first thing she told me that, I have decided and I've told the whole family, don't compare them. Let's celebrate the uniqueness of each child. Let's highlight the strength of each child.
Yeah.
Because each one of us has strengths and weaknesses. Now, what happens that some parents highlight the weaknesses. Like, I'll give you an example of my life. I was never good in embroidery and stitching. I was not cut out for that. And that time,
That time
you
it was
had
very
to.
important,
See,
yes,
in my case, you have to go back to 70 years for everything. So that time, and my cousins had a very, very neat hand. I cannot tell you that they did a brilliant job. But again, I must tell you that my mother never ever felt that I should be like them.
Wow.
I think that
This
was
is
another
very
thing.
unlike.
Yeah,
This is
very
very
unlikely.
unlike,
And their mothers used to compare them to me and say, see how well she studies, how well. So these kind of things which are happening today, where we want, I think one thing, let each parent and each one of us remember that everyone cannot do everything.
Everything, yes.
So don't expect, what are you doing today to your children? Oh, you must join drawing classes. You must join music class. You must go for handwriting class. You must attend every party. You must, today even what gifts are, return gifts are given is compared to. Today people have birthdays in theaters. You book the hall and so constantly your expectation. I think we are living in a very show-off culture. And in the show-off culture, we are not touching reality at all. We are moving away from reality. And my call, personal, with a lot of experiences, be real in life.
Yeah.
Don't compare. Ultimately, all these things that you're doing with your child, which we never did, they don't even speak correct English today. When I do interviews at all levels, I find 50% of people spell principal as P-L-E, and they say they are from an IB school, and they pay 6 lakhs, 8 lakhs fees, and I paid 7 rupees fees.
Yeah.
So, I'm just saying that you have to understand the change.
Yes. And this is again, I keep saying the degree masters of arts. So people do this course, MA, right? And they do masters in English. So you become masters in English, write an exam and pass through that exam, and you still can't speak English.
I agree with
So
you.
what kind of education that we are providing? Like many MAs I know
You
in
see,
English.
when we say MA in English, there are two kinds of things that happen. One of them is that a lot of people do through correspondence or what you call distance education. Like you can't do MA in certain subjects like psychology because there are practicals. But English, sociology, economics is easy to do through correspondence.
Yeah.
So you do MA in English. Now what you do is you really don't go to the university. You really don't communicate. Your background doesn't allow you to do it. And I think unless you yourself have that passion, you do a degree. You do graduation, and then for further jobs, you do a post graduation. Whereas English, whereas literature taught to you, you study those 4-5 questions, prepare for them, get your 50%, and you're qualified MA, and you write it in
Yeah,
your biodata. So I think that's more of an addition to your biodata or your resume rather than anything else. But yes, those who really do proper MA from good universities, you have to admit that they do speak good
Yes,
English
yes, absolutely.
and they are very knowledgeable. I mean,
Yeah,
you're not
but
ruling out the
yes, yes,
importance
correct.
of education.
Correct.
But one is for the sake of a degree,
Yeah.
and one where there is a craving to learn.
Absolutely. But this process of examination, which actually helps you just get through
get
it.
through,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So this is what make you.
Because it's rote learning.
Yeah,
no?
rote learning.
You mug it up,
So,
vomit it out, and forget it.
Yes, yes, yes. So that happens actually most of the times, in most of the places. This is the sad reality which I was.
That's
like,
why today they are talking about understanding the concepts
Yeah,
properly.
yeah.
When you look at new education policy, they're looking at integrated learning. Once you do integrative, you have to understand the concept to integrate. You're not just mugging up.
Yeah.
But I think, again, making a policy is a beautiful thing. I think NEP is a beautiful document. But people have not been trained to implement it. I think this whole course of training the trainer
Yeah, yeah.
plays a very important role.
Very true.
And there, again, I must say that we need the trainers. So this whole process, where a lot of investment has to be done in making people understand and allowing schools, making it mandatory that every teacher of theirs has to go through that training. It should almost be like an exam, because if the teacher is not trained, like I've always in a lighter vein said, I was the chairperson of chairperson of the Sociology Board of Studies. And there used to be a huge argument that this should be added in the coursework. This should not be added because the same syllabus goes to the rural area.
Yeah.
Because all of them, Ratnagiri and all, come under Mumbai University. So they used to say, I told them one thing. I said, teachers teach what they know. Students
Absolutely.
write what they
they-
know.
Yeah, yeah.
And the examiner corrects what
they-
you know.
Yeah, yeah.
We have no accountability for our examination work also. I think this accountability and that commitment plays a very, very important role. And somewhere there's a feeling, don't fail many people, the students will not take the subject. I mean, because our numbers are huge, in India, everyone is a graduate.
Yes, yes.
Like you go abroad, it's so expensive that you study, you work, you make more money. So you value what you're doing.
Yes.
Now here, for many communities in many aided colleges, education is free for girls in the 11th and 12th. And even otherwise, it's hardly anything. I'm not saying you must charge exorbitantly, but I think somewhere that value has to be inculcated, that respect the system. I think what we have forgotten is to respect the reverence, which is the greatest call of Indian education.
Yeah, yeah.
We had reverence for everybody. Guru was a guru.
Absolutely.
I mean, I remember that if our teacher shouted at us anytime, and we went home and complained, my mother's first question was, what did you do? And today, what do we do? What did the teacher do? Why did she do it?
Of course.
I was staying in a home at Rajkot, and that little child was studying in a IB school. And because we all were there, he slept very late and didn't go to the school next day. So I told him, won't your teacher shout at you? He was a 5-year-old boy. And you know the reply he gave me? She is not allowed to shout at me.
See, the
She
respect.
is. Now, what do you think of it?
Yeah.
That someone has trained him, that she's not. What respect
Yeah.
will you have for that system?
Yeah.
So I think here, the parents
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
and the
Overall,
teachers.
yeah. So I keep saying see गुरु जो है उनको जो दर्जा दिया गया है वो भगवान के बाद है लाइक
गुरु
है ना
गोविंदो
तो
करे।
यस बिल्कुल इतना बड़ा मतलब इतनी इम्पोर्टेंस बट इन रियलिटी आई कीप सेइंग आई वाज टॉकिंग टू प्रिया आल्सो अनदर डे हमारे जो वैल्यूज है ना वो किताबों में ही है सर So in our culture, we have forgotten to actually practice those values. So whatever value it is, let's say अतिथि देवो भव, बस लिखा हुआ है, कर कोई भी नहीं रहा है, ठीक है? चाहे आपका आप गुरु मानो, गुरु को भगवान मानो, ठीक है? या फिर let's say नदी को भगवान मानो, उसी को गंदा कर दे रहे हो आप. So हर एक चीज़ almost जितनी लिखी हुई है ना वो लिखी रह गई, and we have not been able to follow it.
तो क्योंकि कोई उसको आगे बढ़ाने वाला है ही नहीं.
हाँ.
क्योंकि हम क्या करते हैं, हम वो करते हैं जो हम घर पे देखते हैं.
Yes.
अगर हमारे माँ बाप अपने माँ बाप की इज्जत नहीं रखते हैं
तो सेम
कल को क्या होगा?
Yeah.
आपके बच्चे आपकी इज्जत नहीं करेंगे. हम लोग कहते हैं कि वी आर सैक्रिफाइसिंग, वी हैव टू सेव फॉर आवर चिल्ड्रन, बट योर पेरेंट्स हैव सेव्ड फॉर यू. आई मीन दैट डॉक्ट्रिन of parents being respected. See, only India is the only country जहाँ पर पेरेंट्स अपना प्रोविडेंट फंड से लोन लेकर अपने बच्चों को बाहर भेजते हैं, उनको बेस्ट ऑफ एजुकेशन देते हैं. किस लिए? ताकि वो अमेरिका जाकर वहाँ से एक फ़ोन कॉल एक हफ्ते में करके, जैसे हम आपकी मेहरबानी कर रहे हैं, ऐसा तरीका हो गया है. बिकॉज वी हैव नो टाइम. That respect for parents has to come back. And that will happen when we inculcate the values. ये आप जो घर पे देखते हो ना, पेरेंट्स आर द बेस्ट रोल मॉडल्स. आपको पता भी नहीं चलता है कि बच्चे आपको किस तरह इमिटेट करते हैं. मैकेनिकली वो आपको इमिटेट करते हैं. शायद आपको पता भी नहीं चलता है कि आप किस तरह बैग रखते हो ना, फेंकते हो, रखते हो, वो उसी तरह से फॉलो करते हैं.
नो डाउट अबाउट.
आपकी जो बॉडी लैंग्वेज है, आपकी अगर सपोज आपकी द मदर डजंट वेलकम द मदर इन लॉ आ गई,
तो सुन रहे हैं,
तो
सीख रहे हैं,
बच्चे
absolutely.
चाहे आप एक शब्द नहीं बोलो, बिकॉज बॉडी लैंग्वेज अगेन प्लेज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल इन सोशल इंटरेक्शन. आप शब्द मत कहो, आप खाली आईब्रो ऊपर कर दीजिए तो भी बच्चे समझ जाते हैं. तो ये सब टोटलिटी में हम लोग को ख्याल रखना है. बिकॉज इंडिया इज अ कंट्री, सी इंडिया इज अ कंट्री विद द यंगेस्ट पॉपुलेशन इन द वर्ल्ड. इंडिया इज द लीडर ऑफ टुडे and tomorrow because we have the youth. Now this youth has been misguided in the name of modernity, in the name of technology, in the name of bringing them 360 degrees view. जो आजकल भाई we in a school give a 360 degrees view. वो सब के चक्कर में आप तो अभी ये भी कहते हैं कि भाई we work to see that the right brain and the left brain both works. I mean, good. I'm all for modernity. I mean, I just feel that if you don't change, you can't survive. Change is the only constant factor.
Absolutely.
So change is very important.
Absolutely.
And many of us don't change because we fear failure. We enjoy our comfort zone. So we don't accept change.
Yes.
Change is a must. But you have to have a blend between tradition and modernity. Tradition does not mean that अगर सती सिस्टम था तो उसको आप फॉलो करो. नहीं, आपको वहाँ चेंज की ज़रूरत है तो आप चेंज करिए. जो कोर वैल्यूज़ हैं, इंटीग्रेशन, ऑनेस्टी, केयरिंग एंड शेयरिंग. अब जब हम जॉइंट फैमिली में रहते थे तो शायद कभी कोई ये सोचता नहीं था कि ये हमारा बेडरूम है, ये उसका है. अभी हमारे जैसे आपने कहा कि पहले हम मेहमानों को कितनी इज्जत देते थे. अभी कोई आता है तो चाहे कितने भी पैसे हो, पैसे बहुत है, घर बड़ा है, लेकिन दिल छोटा है. वो कहाँ रहेगा, कैन आई गिव द बेडरूम?
पहले से ही अगर सुन लेते हैं कि मेहमान अरे आने वाले हैं क्या,
हाँ।
मतलब पहले से ही दिमाग खराब।
हमारे घर छोटा था, मैं दादर में रहती थी। अब मानोगे नहीं, 18 लोग हमारे घर में रहते थे। कल ही हमारी दिल्ली में हमारे कुछ कजन्स हैं, उनसे बात हो रही थी तो कहते थे कि मंजू तुझे याद है कि हम पलंग पे भी कुछ लोग सोते थे, पलंग पहले बड़े बड़े पलंग होते थे, पलंग के नीचे भी सोते थे, लेकिन हंस हंस कर हम लोग जीते थे। अब वो हंसना कहाँ है?
यस यस यस।
अब वो हंसना कहाँ है?
हाँ, कि मतलब वो गरीबी में भी खुशी थी उस टाइम पे भी ना। हाँ, या दैट्स इम्पोर्टेंट ऑल्सो। इससे मुझे, हम वैल्यूज़ की बात कर रहे थे, सो अब दो चीज़ें विच स्ट्राइक्स मी अ लॉट, कि जैसे आपने सती का नाम लिया, राइट, कि सती प्रथा थी। नाउ टू बी एबल टू डिफरेंशिएट कि क्या ठीक है, क्या छोड़ देना है और क्या कंटिन्यू करना है, दिस इज़ नॉट एन ईजी टास्क when we are doing mostly things that we don't understand, and the information is so much that I can't really as an individual identify which information is correct, which is incorrect, right? And then again सती कि आपको धर्म तो फॉलो करना है, लेकिन उसमें से क्या क्या निकाल देना है ये कैसे पता चलेगा? ये तो बड़ा डिफिकल्ट काम है सबके लिए, और
I
ये
agree,
यही रीज़न है जिसकी
बहुत
वजह से
difficult है।
हम ब्लाइंडली बहुत सारी चीज़ें फॉलो करते हैं, फिर उसके साथ साथ जैसे वो गेहूं के साथ घुन पिसने वाली बात है ना, तो वो अच्छी कुछ चीज़ों के साथ वो खराब भी चलती रहती है, बिकॉज वी आर नॉट अलाउड टू क्वेश्चन।
देखिए, एक रैशनल होना चाहिए कि क्या सही है क्या गलत। अभी हम लोगों ने अपने फेस्टिवल्स को भी क्या कर दिया है, ट्रेडिशन नाम का है, लेकिन आपने उसको इतना कमर्शियल कर दिया है। नवरात्रि देवी की पूजा है। कल मैंने देखा कि लोग क्या कपड़े, और इट्स अ कंपैरिजन, उधर भी आप कहाँ जाते हो, किसके शो में जाते हो, कितना आपने एंट्री फी भरा है, सो दैट ऑल्सो बिकम्स कमर्शियल। तो हमने अब कुछ कुछ फंक्शंस है, जैसे हम सिंधी लोग, मेहंदी तो कभी थी ही नहीं हमारे यहाँ, वी नेवर पुट मेहंदी, बट अब हम देखते हैं कि सभी लोग मेहंदी लगाते हैं, तो टू इंटीग्रेट with other cultures, we do. So we are also following what is convenient. It's become a matter of convenience. I agree with you that information is being bombarded. We are full of information. That's why I always say that our education system has failed us, because our revered Dada J.P. Vaswani said that there is so much information that you cannot even decide the difference between wisdom and knowledge.
बिल्कुल,
It's gone.
बिल्कुल, yes.
So you educate the head, you educate the hand, but you leave out the heart.
Heart, yes.
आपने उनको अच्छा इंसान बनाना तो छोड़ ही दिया है ना। देखिए, आपने उनको फेलियर एक्सेप्ट करना सिखाया ही नहीं है।
Yes.
फेलियर इज द मेन पार्ट ऑफ आवर लाइफ। टुडे एक रिलेशनशिप बिगड़ जाती है, आईआईएम में एडमिशन लेकर कहीं आपको कोई कास्ट सिस्टम का प्रॉब्लम हुआ, आईआईटी में आप पढ़ते हो कहीं कुछ प्रॉब्लम हुआ, तो आप कितना वक्त लगाते हो सुसाइड करने में? यानी कि आपने अपने लाइफ को वैल्यू देना ही छोड़ दिया है, क्योंकि हमने उन्हें सिखाया ही नहीं है कि ह्यूमन बर्थ इज प्रेशियस। सो वी हैव नॉट एजुकेटेड द हार्ट। दैट्स व्हाई वी आर फोकसिंग ऑन आउटसाइड थिंग्स। जैसे एक स्टोरी है कि एक कैनिबल, जो those people who eat human beings, got educated in a foreign university, and he attended a party. So somebody asked him, do you still eat human flesh? He said, yes, but I eat it with a fork and spoon. So now this is what our education does. Touches the superficial part of your life.
काम को थोड़ा डेकोरेट कर दिया है।
हाँ, but inner, क्योंकि देखिए हमने क्या है, we have thrown God out of the window. We have thrown, because we on the name of secularism says don't discuss religion, don't.
Yes.
God is not something. God is morality. For a want of better word, you call him God. It's your values, your morality. So if you bring God back, now your new education policy is going to Indian knowledge system. It is talking about values. So we are trying our level best to touch back our rich tradition. And I do hope and pray that we will somewhere be awakened and arisen. And so what we have to do is take care of our children.
Absolutely.
Children are your richest treasure. I'll tell you another story.
जी.
There was a father who was reading the newspaper. And this little boy of 5 years came with the drawing he had done. And you know, they love appreciation.
Yeah,
He went to his father and said, Papa, please see my drawing. And the papa said, come after 5 minutes. But children are like restless, no? Like
of course,
monkeys.
yeah,
और
yeah, yeah.
जब
अभी,
तक उनकी
yeah.
बात नहीं
Yes,
होती
yes,
है,
yes. They keep
वो
saying
keep-
or doing
तो
something,
2-3
yes,
बार
yes.
आया
Yeah.
तो पापा ने कहा कि चलो इसको हम शांत करने के लिए उनके टेबल पर एक न्यूज़पेपर रखा था जहाँ पर वर्ल्ड मैप था.
Okay.
तो उसने उसको फाड़ दिया और बोला बेटा ये वर्ल्ड मैप आप ठीक करके आइए. उन्हें पता था कि 5 साल का बच्चा
कैसे ठीक
वर्ल्ड
करेगा?
मैप कैसे ठीक करेगा. But the child came after 5 minutes and said, I have set the map right. He says, how did you do it? He says, behind the world map was the child's picture.
Oh,
I set the
wow,
child
wow,
right.
wow. Yeah.
Set the child right
Yes,
and
yes,
the
yes.
world will be set
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
I
nice.
think we really need to set the child right.
Beautiful.
तो जब आप छोटे हो, बच्चे हैं, माँ बाप और स्कूल, इनकी इंटीग्रेटेड फीलिंग होनी चाहिए कि द फोकस इज द चाइल्ड.
Yeah, yeah.
आप माँ बाप सबको एक बच्चा है तो समटाइम्स दे आर नॉट रेडी टू एक्सेप्ट दैट द चाइल्ड हैज़ अ प्रॉब्लम. तो अगर स्कूल उनसे कहता है कि देखिए आपके बच्चे को प्रॉब्लम है तो वो सोचते हैं टीचर का प्रॉब्लम है. शी इज़ अगेंस्ट, शी इज़ पार्शियल, शी डजंट लाइक माई चाइल्ड, शी इज़ अगेंस्ट. तो इन दिस देर इज़ अ फियर ऑन द साइड ऑफ द टीचर कि लेट मी नॉट आइडेंटिफाई एंड से. And parents then realize after many years that there
Yeah,
is a problem.
yeah, yeah.
Though we have these counselors, we have these people who have huge degrees in identifying special educators, but parents also have to be open. क्योंकि एक बच्चा है ना, आप अगर वो कुछ गलत करता है तो आप सोचते हो यही एक तरीका है जिस तरीके से बच्चे चलते हैं.
Yeah, yeah.
तो वो सही है. नहीं घर में तो वो बिल्कुल ठीक है. नाउ इवन इफ इज जंपिंग नाउ हाइपर एक्टिव.
Yes,
आप सिंपल
yes,
एग्जांपल
yes,
लीजिए
yes, हाँ.
कि कोई बच्चा हाइपर एक्टिव है तो माँ बाप खुश होता है कि वो एक्टिव है.
Active है,
नाउ देयर इज अ
yes.
डिफरेंस बिटवीन एक्टिव एंड हाइपर एक्टिव.
hyperactive.
नाउ द स्कूल आइडेंटिफाइज दैट डिफरेंस एंड टेल्स यू माय urge is that the school and the parents
They should work
have
together.
to
yes.
work hand in
Yes,
hand.
yes.
Have to work hand in hand. There should not be PTA versus teachers, school versus teachers, school and teachers. I always say there's a triangle. On the top is the student, and on one side are parents, and one side the teachers, the school. These two down angles have to meet to reach the top angle, the student. So focus is the student.
Absolutely. But this again is a very big problem which you've just raised. Parents not having understanding of how to become a good parents, having no degree certification of becoming a parent because there is none available. So they don't learn and they become parent with the basic knowledge whatever they have and they start parenting and the child is world to them. So they can't accept, of course. Another point is that it is again also because of the money, a relationship between parent and school is a customer and a service provider relationship.
Absolutely.
And here again, with little knowledge that parent has or maybe no knowledge of how to teach, how to parent, that person guides the school instead. Do this, you are not doing this, you are not doing that, right?
Absolutely.
And you are not taking care of that part and this part, having no knowledge of education.
देखिए,
And then school starts supplying that demand. And
Yes.
that this becomes a circle because they start fulfilling the parents' demand because they are paying and parents keep asking irrelevant stuff from the school because they are paying, of course.
that's why it's a commercial
Yes,
relationship.
yes.
एक तो क्या है कि आपको पता है कि टीचर को सैलरी इतनी ज़्यादा नहीं मिलती है. योर डिसरिस्पेक्ट बिगिंस फ्रॉम फाइनेंशियली फ्रॉम देयर कि अरे मैं तो मर्सिडीज में घूम रहा हूँ, ये
हाँ,
टीचर
ये
रिक्शा में
कौन है
आती
ये?
हैं.
हाँ, yes,
तो
yes,
एक वो हमें वो कभी नहीं सिखाया गया था. आप मर्सिडीज में उस समय इम्पाला होती थी, मर्सिडीज नहीं थी, लेकिन हमें कभी नहीं कहा गया था. और हमने ये भी नहीं देखा था कि क्योंकि सब लोग 10 रुपये फ़ी भरते, चाहे आप कोई भी हो, आप अमीर हो गरीब हो, सब लोग 7 रुपये 10 रुपये फ़ी. तो वो डिस्क्रिमिनेशन भी नहीं
Yeah.
था और स्कूल्स भी वैसे नहीं थे जहाँ पर आप ज़्यादा फ़ी भर सकते थे. तो एक इक्वालिटी फैक्टर था और हर एक को उम्मीद थी कि आई कैन बी समथिंग. यहाँ पर वी हैव कट ऑफ दैट barrier, and we have made it like I am so big. I study in this school. I'll just give you an example. There was one I met, and I won't take the name, but there was this big advertising guy I met. And he told me that I told such and such school to charge 6 lakhs fees. The owners of the school told him, "Are you out of your mind? 6 lakh kaun dega?" He says, "Yaar, tum kar lo, because your child gives status to 6 people. His parents,
Yeah.
नाना नानी and दादा दादी. अगर आप कहते हो, I mean, I'm just giving an example.
Yeah.
My child studies in ABC school.
Yeah.
Now ABC school, अरे 6 लाख फी है. अरे तो पेरेंट्स बहुत अमीर है.
Yeah.
अरे उसका पोता है, वो उस ABC स्कूल में पढ़ता है.
Yes, yes,
तो
yes.
हमने जो पूरा
उसको brand कर
एजुकेशन
दिया,
सिस्टम
उसको
है, उसको अपने स्टेटस सिंबल
Yeah,
बना
yeah.
दिया है. मंदिर नहीं. एजुकेशन institutions are temples of learning.
Yeah, yeah.
हमने उनको temples of learning से निकाल कर एक business बना दिया है.
Yeah, that's how. Okay. That now again we're talking about education, and you have been deeply inspired by Dada JP Vaswani and
yes.
Sadhu Vaswani. And to be honest, I have not much studied about them, so I'll be learning about them from you and other people who are listening to you. So I want to know about them. How have been like their teachings, and what is really inspired you about them?
See, Dada believed that if anything can change India, it's the right kind of education. And he said that character is not taught, it is caught. Therefore, have teachers who are role models.
Yeah.
कि आप अगर I'm telling you speak the truth, speak the truth, speak the truth, is one value which Dada valued the most. And मैं खुद झूठ बोल रही हूँ. So how will the students? So he said the greatest in need of India is the right kind of teachers. And he says teachers are not commercial. Teaching is a vocation. We have made it a profession. But otherwise, teachers are the ones who have the passion for teaching. And somebody who gets, I'm not using Dada's word, but one who gets a kick out of what one is doing. You have to love it. Like he gave an example that there was this one teacher who went home one day and was excited. So they said, "Why did you get an award? Why are you so happy?" So she says, "Today a child after 3 months learned to write A because I was working to teach him to write A." Special child.
That's
So
an
this is
achievement.
what I am
Yes.
looking at. So this is what we are
A teacher's
looking
achievement.
at.
Yes, yes, yes.
And Dada said that we must teach them that success and failure are 2 sides of the same coin. Teach them the walking of acceptance, that everything that happens for the best.
Yeah.
Unless that value, I mean, I learned that value from him because I saw a lot of ups and downs in my life. I lost my father young, and there were many, many ups and downs. And here I remember my school principal, I don't know if you know, we had this concept of autograph book. You know, we used to have where we took the teachers, our friends' autographs, and we keep it. So one of my principals, I remember Sister Imelda, I was studying in Convent Girls High School, she wrote, "Life is a game of ups and downs. He gets the best who never frowns. He who takes the seesaw with a smile will find the passing days worthwhile." So अब सीसॉ में या तो ऊपर होगे या तो नीचे होगे. आप स्टेबल तो रह ही नहीं सकते हो. So this was one thing that went. And Dada's other thing was never, never, never give up. What really felt that if you don't succeed in doing once, never give up. He said, do your best, leave the rest. If after doing your best, you don't succeed, learn to say never mind. He says, unless you don't learn to say never mind, you will feel frustrated. So do your best, leave the rest. After doing your best, for some reason you don't succeed, learn to say never mind. This never mind is the core value of life. I think we suffer because we don't say never mind. हमने इतना किया, ये हमारे साथ ही क्यों होता है? So that was one value, that never give up and accept कि life में ups and downs होता ही है. Because sometimes, I used to tell him that, Dada, Why is this happening? He says, because in every happening, there is a meaning of mercy. He once told me that, do you know, Manju, God is too loving to punish. God never punishes. He said, पता है, जब बच्चा बीमार होता है, तो माँ उनके दोनों हाथ पकड़कर उनको इंजेक्शन देती है, डॉक्टर से इंजेक्शन दिलवाती है. Now, the injection is painful, the medicine is bitter, but why she gives him? So that he gets all right. So he says, God is our father, God is our mother. कभी भी हमें प्रॉब्लम आती है तो उसमें is to make us a better human being. So he says, God is too wise to make a mistake, too loving to punish. So God never punishes you and God never makes a mistake.
How beautiful.
Now for this you have to have that faith. And so I asked him one day, Dada, is faith natural or blind? He says, faith is never blind. Faith is natural. He says, आपको faith है, तभी आप ट्रेन में चढ़ते हो कि हम अपने डेस्टिनेशन पे पहुँचेंगे. अगर आपको faith नहीं है तो आप जिंदगी में कुछ नहीं कर सकते हो. So faith is not blind. Faith is natural. And so he said, hope and faith are two things you must never give up. If you have faith, you can achieve what you want.
Correct.
So basically these core values of never give up,
Yeah.
I never gave up, कुछ भी होता
And that
था.
teaches you to accept the failure.
You become
actually.
solid.
Yeah. And failure is because a lot of people say, almost everybody who succeeded, they say
Has
that
failed somewhere, no?
do not afraid of failure.
Yes.
But we still, because again, the system that we live in, where
don't
you
accept failure.
yeah, of course,
कि
they
ये
don't
failure
accept
है.
it. Yes. And you cannot succeed without failure. This is like, this has been
can't.
said, I mean, millions time by millions of successful people. Yeah, that's so true. Okay. And again, मुझे आपके टेड टॉक से याद आया था एक किस्सा, मैं भूल जाऊंगा इसलिए मैंने सोचा पूछ लूँ. So I would wanna start your career journey. So I wanna know some stories of that. So when you gave your first interview, that was very funny. I heard you saying that that was very interesting. So I want you to narrate it. That was your first interview, right?
You see, in our community, girls never worked. I wanted to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
I had this firm determination of being a lawyer. But my mother felt कि lawyers means आप कोर्ट में बैठोगे, पुलिस वाले, गुंडे सब आपके साथ. उनका एक कॉन्सेप्ट था सिविल लॉ वगैरह के बारे में, उनको कुछ पता नहीं था.
That is true also. If you're a lawyer, then you have to do all
So
of
she
this.
said,
Yeah.
अगर कुछ करना है तो you teach. So I did my MA in sociology. And I was traveling by train. And my friend met me and said, you know, Manju, I'm doing B.Ed. I said, why? She says, because everywhere they are writing, want experienced and trained teachers. So experience जब तक job देंगे नहीं, कहाँ से मिलेगा? और B.Ed कर लेती हूँ कि trained हो जाऊँ. तो पता है KC कॉलेज की advertisement थी. Now ये advertisement came on Friday. She told me on Saturday. So on Monday, I studied in the college. So I wore a sari and went for the interview. Now the peon outside thought I've come for admission. They saying, "Saab kisse milte nahi hai." So I told him that मैं job के लिए नहीं, I mean मैं interview के लिए, admission के लिए नहीं, job के लिए आई हूँ. तो he said आप जा सकती हैं. So I went. It was Principal K.M. Kundani, a man with a vision and a mission. He has started 17 colleges in Mumbai, coming as a refugee with nothing. KC, HR, National, MMK, Thadomal Shahani, a visionary. He was about 70 plus 75. When I went, he was signing something. He didn't even look up at me. I told him, good morning, sir. I've come for an interview. No, go away. There is no job. I mean, I had nothing to lose. In any case, he was not giving me a job. So I said, in any case, it's your loss. The moment I said it's not your loss, he put his head up and said, sit down. I don't like to lose. I mean, you could have been thrown out, but this man was a visionary. So he said, sit down. I don't like to lose. And he said, what's your name? So I said, Manju Nichani. He said, you're a Sindhi? I said, yes. Where did you study? I said, why you are not telling me that you have studied in this college? Okay. Now he had already given that job to one of my classmates because we were all looking. And incidentally, as God's will, she called up to say that she wanted some adjustment in the timetable because this was a part time job. She had got part time in Sophia's. So he says, before joining, you want adjustment? We can't adjust. Tuck, he kept the phone and he told me, call the head of the department. For 10 rupees, one book was bought. And he said, today at 12:30, you're going to take a lecture.
Wow.
That was the beginning. But again, to meet people like him, his focus in life was there's no shortcut to success. And once he told me, nobody dies of more work, people die of no work.
work.
And that has been ingrained in my mind. He was one of my first mentors. Let me tell you that when he said that nobody dies of more work, which I today also believe that nobody dies of
I was about to say this. You've taken it literally.
I
Now
took it
I'm not going to
literally.
stop working. Yeah.
Yes. And he said there's no shortcut to success. So if you have to be successful, you have to work hard.
Yeah.
And I remember I went to him one day for leave. It was my revered Dada J.P. Vaswani's birthday. So I wanted to go. And I told him, sir, can I go? He said, why do you want to go? He had a lot of respect for Dada, but I said it was my guru's birthday. Then he said, when I slept, I thought life was beauty. But when I got up, I realized life was duty. So even Dada says, do your duty. So you can't go. So I didn't go because it was a job.
God.
But he made me realize that it was duty which came first.
Yeah.
And our beloved Dada then taught me, do your duty and a little more. Do your duty and a little more. I remember the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Snehata Deshmukh, met him and told him, Dada, give us your teaching. And he gave this teaching on a platform and said, do your duty and a little more. And I tell people, do your duty and lots more.
Lots more. Okay. Okay. So, but ma'am, do you not get tired? I mean,
I love what I do.
but still, do you not feel like कि ठीक है हो गया बहुत कर लिया मैंने? You've come
नहीं,
from
नहीं,
a very
नहीं,
small
नहीं,
place. You've
नहीं,
achieved
बिल्कुल
so
नहीं।
much and done so much
बिल्कुल नहीं,
in the
क्योंकि
sector.
every morning I get up and say, what next I have to do?
Wow.
Now, we started a school in Manjri, which is about 18 kilometers from where I stay. This was Dada's 100th birthday we were celebrating. So the school was started with the vision of giving free education to the villagers. So we gave them free breakfast, free lunch. But my happiness lies in the fact that when I go there to the school, these little ones who come from a rickshaw driver's son look at me and say, Manju ma'am, Manju ma'am, Manju ma'am. वो एक उनको देखकर मुझे लगता है I still have to live for them till they complete the 10th standard, and my first batch will be my success story. So, when you have sown a seed, you love to see the plant. I don't have any expectations from what I do. But whatever I do, I put my better than the best.
Yeah.
I don't care. I mean, at my age, the road towards Manjri is not very good sometimes in the monsoons. That doesn't bother me. I go like as though I'm going, for a picnic.
Yeah.
I enjoy what I do.
You've
And
been a different person from the beginning. You've been a different person from the beginning, I guess. Because, again, the interview, how did you have the courage to say that it is your loss? How can somebody say this to an interviewer on the face?
Because he didn't look up at me. And I swear my ego must have been hurt. And I thought, in any case, he's not going to give me a job, so let me have a last word. Maybe that was my... yes. No, it was, you'll be surprised that even when I met Dada first, I met him in 1969. Now, I went to Pune because I had a technical issue. I took typing as a 7th subject. Now, you have to have 8 recognized subjects. So I was not eligible for Bombay University. Long and short was that I had to go to Pune University. Now, our beloved Dada was so simple that he was wearing a pajama and a kurta. So I told him, can I meet the principal? So he told me, tell me, what can I do for you? I told him, you can't do anything. I need to meet the principal. So he said, I'm your humble servant here. All this language, I was not used to it. Then someone told me, he's the principal.
Wow.
And you won't believe me. Today I wonder how I did it. But my spontaneous reaction was, but you don't look like a principal. And the other was so amused with it, you know. So I was very spontaneous. But I think people loved that.
Yeah.
They respected me for being
You-
me.
Yeah. That is what. So I read somewhere that it was written something like the best job you can do, which no one else can compete in, is you being yourself.
Absolutely.
Because nobody else can
Be
become.
you.
Yeah, be you. So you are best at being yourself, and nobody can compete really.
I agree with you.
So we were talking about failure. We were talking about values. And okay, so you have been heading Sadi Vaswani School. So I want you to share a little more. How do you inculcate values in the school? What are the core values of the school? And what all practices probably the school follows for the students to face the challenges of today's time?
We have something called a sanctuary. Every school of ours has sanctuary every day.
Okay.
Now, in the sanctuary, we begin with the mantras, and then a story, and then we keep a value for the month. Like sharing is caring. Whole month for different classes, this is a value. So they do play on it, they do a story on it, they will make a poem on it, the teachers, there will be all the thoughts on sharing, caring, and there will be a physical activity of sharing and caring. Now, you will be surprised how it has an impact. That when we started this Manjari school, I told you that it was for absolutely. So one girl, her father gave her a box of pencils. And for him, it was a big thing he gave. And he went home and said, come, I'll sharpen your pencils and give you. And how was your day? She says, but maza kade nahi. I don't have them. He says, kuthe kele? What did you do with it? He said, I gave it to my friends because I learnt in the school sharing is caring.
Wow.
Now, without
Wow.
realizing,
Wow.
you don't understand what impact it has. Another value which we value the most is compassion. The other belief that all life is sacred. He said, if you have no right to give life, you have no right to take life.
Correct.
So we put in this value of compassion. Someone just sent me a message. I wish I could read it to you. She had asked us to give admission to one of their maid's grandson. Apparently, he has gone home and said, I will not eat non-veg, but I don't want anyone in the house also to eat. Because he said, all animals and birds are my brothers and sisters. It's a simple thing that all animals are my brothers and sisters. And he said, we can't eat my brother, no. I can't eat my sister, no. So these values, when catch them young, Dada said, this you can do when they are very young.
Yes, absolutely.
You can't do it when they... So if you grow with those values, so our values are not any religious values. They are general values. Forgiveness is another value which Dada said, because you hold on. You keep on to negativity in your mind.
Yes.
He says forgive. He says very often we forgive, but we don't forget.
We don't forget, yes.
And sometimes we forget, but never forgive. He said, if you forgive in totality, 100%. So 2nd August, we celebrate as Forgiveness Day, and we have a big forgiveness tree. We have forgiveness boxes. So the students write there that they forgive. So I mean, I'm not claiming that everybody forgives. But that value is there. So kabhi gussa bhi aata hai, then we let go. Jaane do. Bola hai, forgive. So I think nobody expects 100% results. Like speak the truth. This is one value which Dada really said that what we lack is
yes.
So kabhi hum log, one girl came to me. She said, I told lies. You think God will punish me? Now, we don't tell them God will punish you. But then somewhere she has learned that jhoot bolna paap hai. Correct? Now, that word paap made her think that there will be a punishment. So she came and asked me. I said, God never punishes, but God loves you. but you also have to speak the truth. Means that realization. What I'm saying is that internalization of the value of the truth
This
is
one
inculcated.
very was again very interesting. This concept of doing something, getting rewards, or the punishment is again also a very flawed system
Very flawed.
that we have been taught in all the religions, and then schools, and then corporates everywhere. Like
A star on the hand is also a reward.
yes. So reward also. This makes me remember Jiddu Krishnamurthy's teaching. So in their schools, they do not have the competitions at all. So they do not compare, right? They do not probably they don't give awards and all of this. So they have also tried to create the system where you do not get lured by those appreciation which are probably fake at times, and also do not get worried about comparing yourself with other people. And also, as you said, that these practices throughout the month and following
One value throughout the month.
this
9
is
values we give them.
interesting, because it cannot be taught in a way that I've just told you you should speak truth and you will start speaking truth.
Oh, means the whole month you're just telling them, forgive, speak the truth, sharing is caring, compassion. So, as I'm telling you that it may not happen that 100% will listen to you, or it will be 100% impact. But I am saying that even if it has a 50% impact,
Yeah, absolutely.
even if it has 20% impact, we are working towards
Towards it, yes,
in the
yes,
hope that one day a realization may be dawned.
Yeah. Okay, now, as you know, we were talking about the too much information today's time, and also like in education sector, the change is again you said change is constant. You cannot avoid change. Technology, AI,
AI,
so many things, parents' expectation,
mobile.
mobile phones, screen time, all of that. So a lot of changes are coming in, right? So what are the changes that you like, and what are the changes that you are worried about as
We
an
have to
educator?
change with times. Today, I cannot be living and saying that, look, I don't know how to use technology. But my concern is that don't become a slave to technology. It's created by you, be a master.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you that even the role of the teacher is going to change. Today, what teacher reads, a student reads much before her and more than her. Because they are very fast on Googling or getting AI information than what you get. Now, this gives an opportunity to the teacher to increase the creativity, because AI does not give you any creativity, it kills your creativity. It does not allow you creativity. So I think teachers will work hard on to see that how do we really become more creative. I think what we lack is rational thinking, creativity, innovation. You're Googling everything.
Yeah.
But where is your mind? I think the teacher's role is changing just from ordinary teacher to be a facilitator. She has to become a link between technology and the student.
Bang on, absolutely.
She
Teacher
has to
cannot
be
be the source of information
yes,
anymore,
because
right?
that the child
Yeah.
already has.
Yes.
Now, information is there, but analyzing that information is more difficult.
Yes.
Like I remember when I was doing my MA Part 1, they said that according to changes, open book policy. So we thought we could take the book home, a book to the class and read. But you know what happened? We were not finding the answers because we really did not know where the answer, because we had not prepared. And there was critically analyzed Merton. Now, critically analyze where, how to find it. So therefore, any information that's given to you has to be analyzed, has to be seen in full perspective. Because most of the information may be right, but a lot of information is wrong. So I think I would appeal to people to do references, go to original sources, because what information is in original sources is not on Google.
मुझे तो लगता है कि इसके ऊपर करिकुलम होना चाहिए, मतलब क्लासेस होनी चाहिए, बिकॉज व्हेन यू हैव टू मच इन्फॉर्मेशन देयर हैज टू बी अ लेसन ऑन हाउ टू आइडेंटिफाई करेक्ट
Identify. That's what
इन्फॉर्मेशन,
I'm telling you,
बिकॉज
that analytical
it's
problem
very
is
very
there.
difficult for a normal common man to really understand कि सब लोग बोल रहे हैं और इतने सारे ओपिनियन. आई वाज टॉकिंग टू मे बी वन ऑफ माय कलीग द अदर डे कि इतनी इन्फॉर्मेशन है कि आपको सारे पहलू मिलेंगे. तो लेट्स से इफ यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट डाइट, तो somebody would say कि देसी घी बहुत अच्छा है, आपको ये भी मिलेगा, वो बोलेगा ये खराब है. और दोनों एविडेंस के साथ बात कर रहे हैं. नाउ यू हाउ
तो
डू यू बिलीव
आपको
कि कौन सा वाला
हाँ,
सही है इन्फॉर्मेशन?
तो teacher has to play a role there.
Yeah.
So teacher has to be extremely well read, committed, and has to understand what is happening. I think, with my due respect to the teaching community, I have been one for last 54 years. That commitment factor and that passion. Because unless you don't, I'm a firm believer that unless you don't have passion for something, that fire in the belly, that I want to make these students new, I want to, you can't do it. अगर आप क्लास में जाते हो, एक अच्छा लेसन प्लान बनाते हो और वो आप पढ़ाते हो, that's not teaching.
Yeah.
Because teaching takes place only when learning takes place.
Correct.
There was this great scholar who prepared fantastically and gave a lecture in one great university and came out, and somebody asked him, "Sir, how was your lecture?" He said, "Brilliant." The students came out and they asked them, "How was the lecture?" And the students said, "Shh." It all went above our head. So very often this happens, that the teacher thinks that I'm reaching. So teaching takes place only when learning takes place.
Yeah.
So this teaching learning process has to go hand in hand. And here is where when people say that teacher's role will go off after a few years, will not. I heard this 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Someone told me teachers will become dispensable. I mean, there's no need for it. But still we find that the role of the teacher is important.
Yes.
Because the teacher really is an emotional factor also, which is not going to be in your AI. A teacher gives a life example. You live by the role model of the teacher.
Correct.
So I still feel that teacher plays a very, very important role, because I know that wherever I go, like Priya was my student, she met me after so many years. I didn't recognize her, but she said, "You were my teacher," and that's the reward for a teacher. And I'm sure this will go on for years and years to come. But the change of the role has to be accepted.
Yeah. But then again, I feel, I keep saying also, as you said rightly, teachers are never going to be replaced. But the role of a teacher is going to
I
be
said the
changed,
teacher's role.
absolutely changed.
100
And we
full-
cannot,
full degree it will change.
Because again, जैसा आपने बोला कि teachers is no more the source of all information.
No.
But it used to be.
It
There was
used
a
to be.
time.
Because we used to look up at every word said
Teachers
by
only
the
had
teacher was
information.
gospel truth.
Yeah. Teacher only had the information. So अगर आपको पढ़ना है तो आपको जाना पड़ेगा गुरु के पास, and गुरु आपको ज्ञान देगा. So ज्ञान was there with the guru only at that time. Another point I wanted to discuss with you. Do you think like we should start using internet in the school? I've been talking about this a lot because internet technology, I feel one thing that school usually lacks is we teach them in a box which is not a real world, and they are judged on their practices in the real world. So I will not be judged on writing exams anymore. So nobody in my career asking me to write it if you know it, and then I will see and judge you and give you salaries or anything, right? I have to do real research, real work, and then I can use all the tools available in the world. So now I am being judged on how I use all the available tools. But schools are still not preparing them to use the tools available. So let's say if a student, let's say Priya can memorize well and she can write well, she has a beautiful writing, and if that is the pattern,
Criteria.
but I am, let's say I'm good in organizing event, I am good in researching, I can find out information faster than her, I will still be failed and she will be getting good grades. And then again, I will be demotivated.
I agree with you, Shakil, because I now feel that the creativity, the teachers are using absolutely some fixed criteria of teaching. There is no scope for creativity or understanding. And children have a lot, small children. I'll give you one very foolish example, but which opened my eyes. My niece went to school and we trained her that if they ask you, what is your name, you must say, my name is Anuradha Nichani. She went and she didn't answer. And we were so disappointed because she was going for an interview. She was going from one class to another. So we told her that, why didn't you answer? You knew. She says, teacher says Anuradha every day. I say present teacher. She knows my name. I thought it was an absolute brilliant answer. Because if the teacher, why are you asking me my name?
Yeah.
If you know it. What I did was I judged her by not answering that question. But I didn't give her a scope to tell me that why are you not telling us your name? I mean, she had a reason for not telling you. So I think the teachers have to be trained to, especially with this whole AI, and I am focusing a lot on teachers' creativity. They have to focus on creativity and innovation. These are two things which I think if we really need to grow, even for the hires, when we are saying that people have to start their own startups. Now, for startups, how many ever books you have, but unless you don't have that mind and overall, see, you can't be specialized. If you want to a startup, you have to know accounts. You have to know what you want to do. There is a profit and loss. There is the whole thing, marketing, sales, everything is involved. So I think this whole personality development is more important than just knowing a subject.
Absolutely correct.
Therefore, I am still focusing a lot on skill development, hands-on training. I think people don't realize that, see, all these Marwaris, jewelers and all, उनके बच्चे हमारे पास पढ़ते थे, लेकिन 11 बजे के बाद वो दुकान पे जाते थे. And there they got hands-on experience with all that we taught them, didn't come into their diamond business.
Yes.
So I think hands-on training, skill development, skills को आप focus करो. Skills को अगर आप, and my last very, very important thing is that we have to teach them dignity. Remember we went to Bali and how the small children did everything on their own. Now that dignity of labor lacks in India. So if you treat that a plumber can earn a lot purely if he takes the skill in plumbing. But why he's not doing it? Because you don't respect it as a profession.
Yes, absolutely.
So I think once we learn to respect every profession and vocation, in America you have to call a plumber by appointment.
Yes.
He first comes in his car, sees
and
what
very
is your
expensive.
Very expensive. So create that kind of a culture where then so these paper degrees will not play an important role. Vocational training, skill development, all-round personality development will also take place.
Correct. And you said teachers' creativity. That's again
I think
very
that's a focus.
important, because if teachers are not creative, how the students are going to be creative? If the teacher is,
they also refer to
अगर as a teacher मैं पढ़ा रहा हूँ ना same तरीके से 10 साल से, तो how do you expect me to be happy about doing the same
resistant to
stuff?
change. This is one problem I feel. Why, even if you change the timetable, they are resistant, you know. So this resistance to change, either because of fear of failure sometimes. What if I'm not using, suppose if I say, I'll give you an example. I didn't know computers at all. And I saw one mail which said that I could go abroad from our own board. It just came, but we cannot send Manju Nichani because she does not know how to send an email, because that time there was not much. Believe me, that evening, I bought a computer. It was very expensive. I bought it on installments. I didn't know how to use it. That guy just put it on. My 5-year-old niece taught me how to do A for apple. Go to Word, take A, go to pictures, put apple. I sat whole night and did A to Z. वो learning का एक just था कि I will learn it. I cannot be seen as not knowing. I think unless we are not open to learning and accepting new things, we cannot succeed. And that's the need of the teachers.
So, see, your career has been like very, very vast. You started very small. Now you're heading a couple of schools. And So you may be having maybe a couple of thousand students definitely.
Yes.
जो आपके पास से गए हैं.
50,000 in HSNC board and 20,000 in
70,000 के आसपास.
yes, means that at one given period of time, but I have taught for so many years.
Yeah. So
multiplying
why I'm asking, I'm just wondering if I am in your place, तो मेरे सारे जो रुकते उकते काम है वो कहीं ना कहीं कोई मिल जाएगा और हो जाएंगे.
हाँ,
ऐसा होता होगा ना.
होता है.
मजा आता होगा इसमें तो नहीं.
हाँ, होता है.
So you must be.
That's why
enjoying
I
that
always
luxury.
say that the Prime Minister can be remembered for 5 years.
Yeah.
But the teacher is remembered for lifelong.
Yes.
I mean, wherever I go, and very proudly, ma'am, I'm at the airport, and someone says, are you Miss Nichani? Ma'am, you remember I was a student. I said, told me, for years, I was wanting to tell you that I was impressed with you with your talk, but I didn't have the guts. But now I can do it. One girl I met, and she said, I have written it in my book. People treat you the way you want to be treated. This is one of my favorite dialogues in every class of mine. I always say, people treat you the way you want to be treated, so don't allow them to treat you badly.
Yeah.
Because if you allow it, people will exploit you. But once you put your foot down, nobody can do it. So I think I tell them. So she says, ma'am, whenever I come under difficult situations, she said I was going to commit suicide. And I found my sociology book in that you had said, I always said them, please underline it in red, blue, green, whatever you want. People treat you the way you want to be treated. She says, ma'am, I was going to have a last look at it till I realized. And I said, why am I allowing my in-laws to treat me like this? And why am I committing suicide? Because I have allowed them. She says, next day I told my husband, I'm not going to do it.
Very
And he
powerful.
said, so you see what happens is you don't know when the impact of the teacher begins and if it ever ends.
Wow.
I think that's
Very,
the
very
impact of a teacher.
That makes you feel proud, na?
That's
कि
why
मजा
I-
आ गया मतलब
मजा-
अच्छी लाइफ
मजा
है.
आ
Yeah,
गया.
yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Superb. कभी ऐसा हुआ है, like do you remember any incident which was like you were not expecting something to be done, but then you found your student there to help you and you had no idea?
It's a very funny thing, but
Yeah.
I can tell you
Yeah.
that we were having dinner in one of the most expensive restaurants in Taj.
Okay.
It was a Japanese restaurant. And people who were with me were all very, very top end and big builders and top end. So one was saying, I mean, I didn't even offer to pay the bill because I was invited by them. So one said, I'll pay, I'm a hotelier, I'll get 50% discount. The other one said, no, but I will pay. So they were arguing, and that guy came and said, your bill has been looked after. So we turned around and said, that guy there says, hi, ma'am.
Oh,
And so
my
he had
God.
already looked. So
Wow,
all the
wow.
rich people could not.
Goosebumps आ गए मुझे ये सुन के. मतलब कितना proud moment होगा.
Yes.
Everybody is like, I can pay,
yes,
and then
and,
ma'am is sitting, and then it is already paid because of ma'am is sitting there.
So that
Wow.
is the.
Wow, very interesting.
I think these are some moments which you cherish. That it's not the question of the bill. It was the question of him respecting
Respect, of course, respect.
and acknowledging. You see, what a teacher needs is acknowledgement. It may be one rose, and it may be one smile, but that's
Yeah, how sweet. And we will finish maybe in last 10 minutes. So I have a couple of more questions. एक तो how do you manage your struggle at the same time? Because you seem to be very like happy, right? Always, and the kind of energy that you carry. But of course, struggles भी होते हैं साथ में, right? उन दोनों को बैलेंस कैसे करते हैं? Sometimes we get, because what happens, अब जैसे आपने बोला कि आपकी स्टूडेंट मिली और वो परेशान हो गई, and then you probably answered also कि you allow people to treat you the way you are being treated. But difficult तो होता ही है ना? When you face difficulties, how do you balance your other side and this side?
क्या होता है, बहुत बार डिफ़िकल्टीज आती हैं और कभी कभी आप सोचते हैं कि वाई एम आई डूइंग इट.
जी जी.
I don't need to do it. For
Exactly,
example,
yeah,
in my
yeah.
current position, I don't need to do it. You know, I'm doing seva. I'm doing it out of choice, and then I say that I am doing for a purpose, and my purpose is much more important than what I am. The purpose for which, like for example, if I run a school, we started a school in New Bombay. So there was a purpose. I used to come at 6 in the morning because I was a full-time principal with Casey. I used to go at 6 in the morning, reach there at 6:45, work there till 8:30, meet the teachers, address the students, meet the principal, and hop into the car because that time there were no flyovers. This is about 20 years ago when I started school at Sanpada. Because Dada told me, you will run the school. So when the instruction comes from the master, it means I had to get up at 5, get the driver early, and if he didn't come on time, my heart used to beat that. And I did not want anyone in the college to say that I was late in the office. I mean, I'm very, very particular that nobody should point a finger at my work. So balancing that was a challenge, and I need not do it. But if you get satisfaction at the end of the day, because you'll always have a balance of ups and downs.
Yeah.
And if the ups are more than the downs, then you look at the ups. And of course, when I said that I have this great philosophy of never, never, never give up. So I always work hard to not give up.
So you bounce back.
Yes, sometimes my health gets little low, and I feel should I take more care of my health, and but then I feel that when I work, I forget that my health is not well, and I always say, "Thank God I have so much work." Otherwise, I'd be brooding. I would be brooding कि ये नहीं है, वो नहीं है. So I think when you get a kick out of what you do, there will be a down in your life.
Yeah.
But accepting that down and rising from that down to go up back to that level is success.
Yeah.
Because you have to rise, nobody else. I mean, I always tell people, never ask, can I? Always have the positive attitude and say, I can.
I can. Yeah.
So sometimes I can I go? Then I said, like today someone said, why are you going at 8:30 in the morning?
Because I can.
I said, because I can. So you see, it's all all matter of attitude. It's all matter of attitude. I mean, you can see the glass half full, you can see the glass half empty.
Yeah.
You just have to have that positive attitude which takes you across.
मैं तो इनफैक्ट ये बोलता हूँ कि ग्लास इज ऑलवेज हाफ फुल इट इज नेवर हाफ एम्प्टी बिकॉज water is separate, right? Glass is separate. Glass is made empty. There is only one possibility.
Nice way of
It can be half filled or full filled, but it can either it can be empty, right? But whenever there is water, it is positive.
Yes.
No matter how little it is, because
I
glass
never looked
is
at
always
it from that
empty.
point of view. Fantastic.
Oh, एक last very personal question, but I wanted to know because you said in the beginning कि अब ये होता भी है हमारी सोसाइटी में इनफैक्ट इवन टुडे व्हेन वी हैव कम सो फार इवन women are expected to just get some degree then get married, right, settle, have children. This is the like ultimate goal of the life. But how did you decide to not get married?
It was a difficult decision.
Yeah, it must be.
I think my parents, more for societal factors, where they said, look, she's not ugly. I mean, if you're ugly, handicapped, people are ready to accept bichari. You see, people love sympathy. So like bichari की शादी नहीं हुई क्योंकि दाग है. ठीक है. अगर आप ठीक ठाक लगते हो, आप पढ़े लिखे हो, तो there is an expectation that you should be married. Now, my parents gave me the full freedom to find if I wanted anybody. They were not restricting me. But if they had to find one, it would have been from within the community. From the sub-community I belonged to. Now, somehow or the other, I was very, very independent, mentally, emotionally. My mother had a lot of chats with me and said, look, what is more of not... She said, I understand, but what will people think? You see, half your life is governed with what
will people think?
People will think. And then my younger brother, who was 6 years younger to me, got engaged. Because he liked a girl and it was... So that night, I remember, she wept like as though something... So I asked her, what happened? She said, look, if your younger brother is married, nobody will marry you because they will say that... if the boys get married late.
Yes.
I told her that if any idiot is not going to marry me because my younger brother is married, he doesn't deserve
Doesn't
me.
deserve, yeah.
And then I think slowly they accepted that I was economically highly independent. And my first thing which I would tell any woman is have a house of your own. I took a loan. I was the first woman to take a single woman loan, not, I mean, as a loan from HDFC. 40,000 I took in 1982.
Wow.
Because I felt every woman must have. Once I have a house, then I think, and your behavior should be so dignified that people should respect you.
Yeah.
I mean, it should not look like that you're wanting something and you have missed out in life. I think that dignity every woman must carry. I still will tell you one thing honestly, that if I was married, I would have adjusted to the T, because however independent I am in my thinking, I believe marriage is a sacrament. I don't believe in divorce. I
Totally
believe
agree.
that children are the innocent victims of any break in marriage. So if I was married, even if I had to face difficulty, however independent I was, I would have kept up.
Yeah.
And that's what I didn't want to do. And I explained to my mother that you can't make me live that kind of a life. I said, I'll do it if you feel. But I think they were very understanding right from the beginning. And then the second thing is destiny. What we blindly say, उसके नसीब में नहीं
वो तो
था.
बाद में बोल देते हैं.
वही. So that is, but one thing, if you ask me in my life, I don't regret till today.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not talking of tomorrow. Is marriage.
Wow.
I don't, till today, I don't feel lonely. I have enough work. I have enough status. I'm financially independent. And I enjoy life. So enjoyment doesn't mean that you have to drink and you have to party. Enjoyment means you have to be happy. You have to be satisfied. You have to get a kick out of what you do. So I have all that. And you have to have some very good friends. I think friends and your family. I work very, very hard to balance between my work and my family. I just feel that they're all very important. My nieces, my nephews are like my children. So they stayed with me all their lives. So that you have not missed the bringing up of children or having that warmth of the children. All that exists. So I've lived in a family. So it's not that I've lived lonely.
Correct.
So you may be alone, but you're not lonely.
Ah, superb. And I totally agree, because this financial independence,
It's very
especially for women, because money has always been with men.
I agree.
And that's how they have been controlling women in a way, because now, once you are financially independent, you can make a choice whether you want to get married.
Yes.
Your decision of getting married should not be because you need a partner to take care of you
No,
and
but
everything.
today's
Yeah.
generation thinks that they don't want to get into a bandhan of marriage. They get divorced before they are married. I mean, so fast. I still don't believe in it. So somewhere my old thinking has not changed. I would still advise, I always tell young people that when you're married to a family.
Yeah.
So adjust. First 2 years, adjust. Because anyone who goes to a new family has to adjust. The culture, the food.
Yes, everything
adjust
changes.
करना ही है.
Yes.
You can't go with your strong views that in my house this will not happen. I don't eat this for breakfast because in my house. Now this is your house. I mean, surprisingly that you might find me contradictory. On one hand, I'm so independent, but on the other hand, I believe in institutional values beyond a point.
But at the same time, I feel ऐसा भी तो है ना, because when we teach the adjustment, we have to also put a limit to it, because that is what happens
Dignity should not be questioned.
Yes,
you can't take
yes.
violence. You can't take abuse.
Yes. So
Definitely not. Nothing is more than your dignity. Dignity of a woman is primary. But small things should not really be.
yeah. Okay. So we will now end with a small rapid fire. I have got like 5 questions with me. So the first is, any book that you would like to recommend which has like highly influenced you in some way?
Alphabets A to Z by Dada J.P. Vaswani.
A to Z.
Yes.
Okay.
Alphabets A to Z.
Alphabet A to Z.
Alphabets A to Z by Dada J.P. Vaswani, because it answers whatever you want, there is an answer to it.
Nice. One leadership quality you look for in other, because you have been taking interviews, hiring people also, right? You have been heading institutions. So what leadership quality you look for in other people?
Taking people together.
Oh, nice, nice. This is very important to
Taking
work
people together.
with the
It's
team.
not having followers, it's walking with people together.
One thing that people maybe not know about you, and they should not know, or the answer is they should not know.
Basically, people think I'm very sociable, but you'll be surprised that I love my me time.
Ah, nice.
I love to be alone many, many times.
Very nice. So the next question is related to that. Your favorite place in India or abroad that gives you peace?
I love Niagara Falls from Canadian side. When I went there, I felt this is nature. This is what I would love to be there.
Oh,
I loved it. I loved that
nice.
sound. I loved being there, the feel of it.
You like to stay close to nature.
I
right?
love to
Yeah,
stay
yeah,
close
yeah.
to nature.
One
Especially
message-
water.
Okay.
The
okay.
sea, river, lakes.
Yeah, I am the same person. Yeah, I like mountains if it has the waterfall.
Yes,
Nothing like
it's a
it, but
spot,
then I
yes.
like beaches otherwise.
Yes.
If the mountain without waterfall, I might not like them
Yes.
that much. Yeah. Okay. One message that you would like to give to parents, teachers, and students.
Children are our richest treasure, more important than all your bank balances. Take care of them. Both of you have a huge responsibility.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for your time, ma'am. It was wonderful talking to you.
It's just a
I
joy
was
being
not
here.
ending. I was not wanting to end the conversation because we have to end. It's been like almost 2 hours, but lovely talking to you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.